I think she'll be late. Go ahead and start without her, and then you walk in the door.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. I have everyone present except for Cedric. And when is, you've got something on
In
here?
April.
She's already resigned. When's her already done?
Yeah, she's already.
Okay, all right. So we have in front of us the minutes from the last meeting, and we were emailed those. So is there anything that needed to be fixed, added, deleted, so forth? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I make a motion, accept the minutes as read.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, we have no guests. Okay, splash pad.
Splash pad still slowly but surely coming together. They are almost finished with all the ceilings and walls. We're gonna paint real quick so that when we put up the sinks and the toilets, that we don't have to paint around those. The last 2 weeks of this month, we'll do some cleaning up and start situating the pumps and stuff so that we can start hooking those up. Slowly but surely, guys, it's either a shortage of materials or lack of labor or bad weather. It's excuse after excuse, but it is coming together, and we should more than make our May deadline now.
The mother-son dance update.
Well, it's done, Dan. It was good. I mean, of course, we don't ever have the turnout that we do at the Daddy Daughter Dance, but it was good. I think we probably had 50 or 60 people there. Had Josh Lee from Creekside Concrete. He'd been bragging about a new camera he got, and whenever I didn't have anybody take pictures, I called him, and he jumped on the opportunity to take the pictures. It was pretty good. I say it was a success.
Yeah, that was my bad that I waited till the last minute to tell you, but I totally slipped my mind that my kids were fishing in the mountains until I went to pull out, and I was like, crap, the father's son, or mother son dance or whatever was that Saturday. So
It was a good enough crowd that it was enough, but it wasn't so many people there that, it was madness, because we didn't have a lot of volunteers show up for this one, so I actually got Donna Moranci and Miss Blankenship. Thank you, Laura, showed up to help out, to take the picture information and get everybody signed up. Well, we've already distributed the pictures. I have 3 that don't attend our schools. I had 6 that didn't attend our schools. 3 of the 6 that picked their pictures up. The other 3 are still on my desk. I've left them messages, called them multiple times. The pictures paid for, it's in my office. They know they can pick it up between 2 and 5.
All right, the community center tentative schedule.
Guys, I'm not really concerned about a lot of this as far as hard dates, except for the few things that are coming up soon, like the January event, to ensure that I have center space. I need to get these dates kind of nailed down. So January 22nd is next to the last Saturday in January. We're going to do a snowed in movies at the center. Hot chocolate cookies. So everybody bring a chair. We'll start advertising for that pretty soon. A flyer that says what time it is and that there's going to be free cocoa and cookies to bring a chair. So I've got that date nailed down. The February Daddy Daughter and Mother Son dance dates. Those are the ones I kind of need to really start thinking about, guys, so that we ensure we have center space. Because we're getting requests to rent the center on a steady basis. And if we don't pick our days, then we won't have it. So I know historically we've always done Daddy Daughter dance in February, if I'm not mistaken. And I know that's right around the corner from when we just did it, but it's time to go ahead and think about that date while we're here. And the March 26th date that I picked, once again, it's Arts and Craft Saturday. I'm going to do. Went ahead and picked that date. I've got a few people lined up. Got a lady who's going to bring the necessary supplies to show them how to make the wool jars and jam. I'm going to have supplies at the station to make a kite. And I got a bunch of little canvases donated the other day and little easels. We'll have several stations around the room to do arts and crafts. And once you get finished this station, you can move to the next. So I've secured that date. And of course, Easter egg hunt in April, that's pretty much all etched in stone because of the event that it is. And then, the May dance that I have cited there, my mentor and me, was a suggestion I got from the Parks and Rec conference this year in Nashville as far as inclusion. I was so excited when they asked who hosted a daddy-daughter dance, because we do, and I was, oh, me, and they were like, well, that's not really good. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, as far as inclusion goes, how many little girls don't have a dad that don't get to come, is it, do we make provisions for this? That's why, we're in Mount Pleasant, we don't really,
We've talked before about changing the names of them, but we don't get enough kickback on it. And there are plenty of people who bring uncles and brothers and 2 or 3 girls.
That's why I thought, this is not going to be a big deal. It's in May. I figured still before school gets out, I would host it, see how kind of turnout we had as an all-inclusive dance. Don't really care, mothers, sons, daddies, daughters, uncles, aunts, grandma, grandpa, whoever's important to you. Still limit the age of the child to 8th grade, like we do the other dances, up to 8th grade. But like I said, I've gone ahead and picked some of these dates that I knew were available, that I felt like I would be able to host these events. The only ones I'm uncertain of, Misty, that I'm gonna need y'all's help on right now, is the daddy, daughter, and mother, son. If we can go ahead and nail some dates down. The rest of that stuff we have time to talk about in our next meetings. It's not so pressing. But I did
Who
hope,
was the daddy-daughter?
excuse me,
The most recent daddy-daughter, when was that?
it was, no, it was just a few weeks ago.
No, the daddy daughter.
Oh,
We
that
did it in
August.
August.
Enough time's gone by, you think that'd be successful?
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Because we
don't
always
have any
do it
fear
around,
that the daddy-daughter dance will be.
because it's always done around
Yes,
Valentine's Day.
you could have it during church time on Sunday, and kids would come, and girl, they would just come. They would just bring Jesus with them, I guess. Yeah, they. We normally do it the weekend before, but Valentine's is on a Monday, and we're going to be at Cheer Nationals the Saturday before. So if the date that Saturday after,
the 19th. It's for the 19th.
yeah,
Let's see,
Or the 19th.
February 19th, and then we could follow right behind it with 26th for the mother son. Want to do that? Or do you? 'Cause I remember-
honestly, I don't think so. We're just going to have to realize that the mother son's never going to be as successful. We normally do it. When we have done it, we did it in March.
Okay.
Because we really need to do it when it's still kind of cool before ball starts, like baseball and things like that. But we decided against doing them back to back because we just felt like we needed to have a little bit of space for the workers, the volunteers, the people to have like a little bit of time. Do we have a early March date that would be
Yeah,
available?
I have all Saturdays open in March right now. So,
That's why we're doing this, guys. Because right now, there's a lot of open dates, but if calls keep coming, they won't stay open long.
So are we good with the 19th for daddy,
something you
daughter?
can look at doing, you could do the 5th of February for the father-daughter, and then do the 5th of March for the mother-son. Just 1 month apart, it keeps it in the spring, and then the 26th would be
Well, I
your
think that's
class.
Saturday in February. Did you say you had something?
No, we're gonna be gone like whatever that second,
The 12th.
but I think we may have something to do before, like a kickoff, send-off thing. I'd just rather get to nationals, get that done, and do it the 19th if that's okay.
19th, mother son.
But if that doesn't work for everybody else,
No,
I'm just
daddy,
one person.
daughter.
Daddy daughter. That works for me.
19th.
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, I was gonna see.
19.
I'm trying to think of like
Well, how about
school-wide
we do-
events.
It's a holiday weekend too. President's Day.
The 19th is. No, we've done it several times on President's Day weekend because it just worked out before.
How about March 19th then that's a month apart for the mother son?
And that would, there's St. Patrick's Day, so we could even do like a St. Patrick's Day theme.
It's not going to affect my arts and crafts weekend.
Oh,
'cause
no,
it's the
I
next
have
weekend.
softball. But somebody else can step up and do that one since I kind of do the other one. But I'm play at Zion. That's our opening week. The 12th, yeah, I have something I'm pretty much can't ever do March or April or May. That's why I'm always good with February. But
Then how about we just go ahead and settle for March 19th then, since.
I just think that would be a cool little thing to do, like
Okay. So we got 2/19 and 3/19. Okay. Hannah, as far as my mentor and me, like I said, I've already got that May 14th date picked.
Is that name kind of set in stone?
No.
Okay.
no, This is.
I just think like, I don't know, I think that's a cool idea. I don't know how well it'd be received or
I
not,
don't either.
but if we could come up with a cool, like a cool,
Well, there had several at the
Yeah.
conference. It was my hero and me, my mentor and me.
the hero thing would be cool, and you could do a superhero theme instead of them having to like
Uh-huh.
dress up in dresses and
Yeah,
stuff. They
it
could,
was,
because little girls like to be superheroes too, or princesses, or
so my hero, yeah, and like I said, it's just a more inclusive event where it's not labeled to, your daddy.
or even call it like superhero dance. Like you don't have to be. Yeah, it doesn't even have.
I have it on the calendar.
Prom is the
for
first
weekend
weekend of May.
weekend of
Yeah.
That date doesn't work for everyone.
What, May 19th?
May 14th.
Okay.
I have a graduation party that day. The 21st is available,
Okay.
which I think isn't graduation. on the
It's-
14th?
It's it might be on. It's not on Saturday.
I'd rather do May 7th then.
No, that's prom.
Sorry, dear.
It might be it's the 13th, I think. So that's probably why you have a party the 14th. Yeah. But it could be, we could do like a superhero dance,
What's May 7th?
prom,
And what's the 14th?
I have a graduation party.
Party, the actual graduation is.
the 13th.
And then 21st.
So the 21st work.
Is school still in session at 21st?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Well, we might actually get out that Friday. The kids might get out that Friday, but Friday would be like the last day, I think.
That's good enough. At least everybody's not rushed out of town yet. It gives me
No.
at least a decent shot at it.
And we may even go in early into like the 1 or 2 days the next week. Yes, we are. We got, no.
Yeah, we're gonna have snow, but it ain't none in Colorado, so I'm gonna be here.
So I'm gonna change that from May 14th to 5/21. Now that we've got to June, guys, that was our homework assignment, was for relevant ideas for Juneteenth celebration. Any ideas pop up? I know we have a desire to recognize someone who has done something of importance. And,
The month of June, we're recognizing Andre Baker
okay,
and,
Is that for the name in the field?
they're gonna put the sign up, but we're gonna do the honoring in June.
Okay.
This park over here that has not been done, will it be Baker? Because they said they dedicated the park, but the family said nobody was notified and they wasn't there.
talk about the pavilion, the Willie Baker Pavilion at the Airlines Park.
Yeah, so we're gonna do
Okay.
that in June. And, Johnny Southall, the first black postman that never missed a day work.
Would like to see, possibly, I know we do a Wet and Wild Day in July, on our event list. I'd like to see about maybe doing one in June too.
No, we usually do it in June.
Yeah.
For years, we did it on the first day of summer.
Okay.
Or the Wednesday of the week of the
So
first
last
day.
year, we just did it in July because of summer, because of COVID
Something.
and whatnot. Had a
Yeah.
great turnout for that event.
Yeah, we always did it whatever, like that Wednesday is.
We did it in July because of the summer school.
Uh-huh.
Wednesday.
I mean,
Still gonna do the splash pad open and.
Splash Pad will have a grand opening in May sometime. I mean, so
Misty,
we'll
we
have
did it in
that.
July this last time because of summer school.
Yeah.
yes, we did.
But I'd like to do Wet and Wild Day, multiple
Which is gonna
locations.
happen
You know, I'd
again.
like to do one at Gardenia Park. I have water and stuff out there, so I would like to.
Yeah, that'd be
I just need folks, y'all be looking around for sponsors for the slide. You know, I mean,
Well, I have two people over at the middle school that want to buy hot dogs and stuff, so I
Okay.
think they want to sponsor the slide instead.
okay.
I'll
What,
ask them.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Slide's more expensive than the hot dogs.
Well, I know, but I mean, if I go in there with my sad face, you know.
if we can start looking at sponsors for the slides for both months, you know,
A month, June and July.
June and July. I figure those are the two best months to host the water events, so if we can, be looking for sponsors for the, water slides, about $500 for the water slide. And that's for the day. He'll drop it off and pick it up. And, as far as the other events, you know, Halloween's Etched in Stone, this year is gonna be Saturday, October 29th. That's great. I think that works out well for us. Don't have anything in August and September yet. I feel like, you know, this gives us some room to grow and have new events that show up, you know, so I don't have everything etched in stone, but I am starting to try to pick some dates and get those hard picked so that the center is available. You know, Wet Wild Day doesn't affect me because it's outside. I don't have to worry about the community center, but the stuff in May and April, March.
I have a little bit of a suggestion. I don't know if this has anything to do with this. So you have November holiday arts and crafts.
I do.
Just because I was at the marketplace and because that's no longer going to be available, could we do something for like the small like business people to like maybe do like a craft fair instead and open that up and let them?
Well, I'm working on
Sale.
a grant that's gonna supply me with stuff to do community art events, okay? If I get the money, it's gonna be to buy supplies to do stuff where it's actually participation with community, so.
I mean,
I'm not
I don't think it would
opposed
cost us anything though. We would just open up the center and
I'm not
set
opposed to doing
tables.
something like that, but I don't want it to take the place of the.
Oh,
arts
no,
and
I
crafts
wasn't,
event.
this
Yeah.
is just that when you,
What
when
if
I
we did,
saw
what
that,
if we did?
that would bring
arts and
people to the
crafts
center.
in one side and have the vendor, so the kids could be doing arts and crafts while mom's over
And maybe
here
have a
shopping the
Santa there
vendors.
to take pictures with Santa Claus. So,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Definitely be a holiday themed event, you know?
like, just bring, I mean, I don't know, I just, when I heard that that's no longer available, and then somebody, when there a couple of them were talking, they were like, I wish we had somewhere we could set up in Mount Pleasant, you know, kind of like, because they do several of them in Columbia at different locations.
Definitely think that's a novel idea, and I don't think I'll have a problem getting vendors to set up, but it would be, I mean, since they're gonna, usually anything that happens for profit at the center, because there's an expense to run the center, if you're making money, I usually make money too.
Oh, no, I think they would pay.
Like a booth room.
I definitely think they would pay a
for that,
fee.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think we need to like have an outrageous amount of money for the fee because we're trying to support
Mhm.
small local businesses. We got a lot of small local businesses that some of them that are not even in a building. They like do it from, you know,
They used to do it
Social
on
media.
Saturdays, and they paid a booth, they used to do it on Saturday morning, and they paid a booth over at the community center. I don't know why I got.
I just think that would be like a,
turnout.
I mean, and again, if we want people to come to stuff, that would be a huge like thing I think people would come to because especially like Victoria said, if you add this with it too, just do it together. And then again, in the middle, we might could have Santa Claus or have someone, I mean, and then
That's a great
we
idea.
could pay money, they could do like we do, pay $5 to get a picture made with Santa.
Yeah.
That's another like little bit of chunk of money.
I think it's a great idea.
And maybe somebody could do like,
It's kind of like a little flea market atmosphere with,
yeah.
with arts and craft stations set up for your kids to be occupied while you look around.
While
and
you shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's great, and the building's big enough that, you know, I can put some arts and craft vendors in different spots throughout the building, you know, vendors, and then keep the messy stuff back in the West Hall.
Because everybody's always looking for places to take their kids to get pictures with Santa or to, you know, yes, always looking for,
Yeah.
you know, because not,
Had somebody doing this.
because it's just not always, you know, the first Saturday in December may not work to take your kid to co-op,
Yeah.
you know, so the more options.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think I definitely can pull that off. Just make it a arts and craft fair, maybe, you know, instead of just a arts and craft event, we'll make it a fair, we'll do it for a longer period of time. See, the arts and craft events is a short period of time with
Yeah.
supervision. The art fair becomes a long, all-day event.
It don't even have to be all day. It could be just
But
in the
for-
evening.
Yeah,
Or in the morning. I mean, if you did like 10 to 3 or, you know, because that way you have a couple hours for them to set up, a couple hours.
Well, I know this last week when they do the first Fridays in Columbia,
evening.
and they do that in the evening so that the businesses, some of them that come from other parts of Columbia that set up on the sidewalks
Yes.
outside the other businesses,
So if it got big enough, yeah. I don't know.
I definitely
I
think we
think on
could-
a Saturday
I
would
definitely
be,
think it's a good idea, and and to incorporate not only our small businesses, but the opportunity to make some Christmas decorations, get Santa, you know, have a bunch of excess plywood and wood scraps around, and I'm gonna start cutting out in the next few months, candy cane shapes, star shapes,
They can paint them.
and just bring paint.
And
Yeah.
after, isn't it after October? When is the Tennessee? When do they have to have their volunteer hours? They have to start after.
They have to start after November 1.
So like we've had a bunch of kids messaging trying to get volunteer hours. So that would mean for the arts and crafts.
Yeah.
They've got to have them for, what's it?
8 hours. They gotta have 8 hours.
8 hours, yeah. So that would be something good that
I'm always looking
the
for help.
seniors could do with the crafts.
That'd
You
be
need
great.
to send a message over to the guidance office for them to post that you need Tennessee Promise hours and put your contact information. Let them call you and say, hey, I can work 4
Yeah.
hours this weekend. You got anything I can do?
Because they've got to, it's a certain day it starts and then they've got to have them in before they apply and get Tennessee.
It's got to be in the spring.
Spring. So it's a kind of,
Well, you know, man, wanting to do community service, and I put him to work cleaning windows, and he didn't come back. There's a lot of glass in that building, in particular. I think if you're gonna clean it, you should actually clean it, if I'm gonna sign off on your hours. You know, gave him the Windex and paper towels, came back later and said, they're worse now than they were when you started, man. Pretty done. So, you got some people in mind to acknowledge for June, any other kind of celebrations anybody's thought about? I see where they had like a bike parade in Columbia, there were some other things. I mean, I know we have time till June, so don't let these ideas stop just because this meeting's about to be over. We need to keep thinking of stuff so that as we get into April, I can really start hard setting these events in place so that when June gets here, it's not a scramble. They're etched in stone. This is how we're doing it. This is what we're doing.
Rocco, we put together a committee, we're trying to bring Clark's reunion back that month too.
Okay.
So, Diane and, it's like, Lord, it's like 5 ladies that we're getting together, get all the information, and they're gonna form the committee. Because they had the class reunion, they didn't have the school reunion.
Okay.
So they haven't had it in a couple of years, basically because of COVID, but they're gonna try. And normally they have it on, Memorial Day weekend, and so instead of doing it that weekend, we're gonna try to do it
Sometime in June.
in June.
Okay.
I'll see what you got up into the story in June.
Yeah, just
Want to
keep,
get on the date of the weekend.
Right, you have weekend with Don Chief open? Okay. I'm supposed to meet with them, and so I will suggest that they,
you said you were going to do stuff for Coach Baker and for,
it's Mr. Harvey,
so they are doing it at the softball field,
yeah,
I'm assuming.
yeah, I'm honoring him at the softball.
Okay.
And then the other one will be down here
at the Baker Pavilion.
The thing about the pavilion is I think that somebody just gave the money for that. And then I think that's why they were never like the family, because I think the city.
We never put anything on or scheduled.
I don't know how
Yeah.
Willie Baker's name, who put Willie Baker's name up there. I just know all of a sudden one day,
I don't know how I got up there either, but I just know they were.
I think that's who they wanted it to.
That's all Civitan.
It was all Civitan, like they wanted it to be called that. And I don't know if they just thought then we would be the ones to have the dedication.
Well,
We were never asked.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Brooks, I've talked to Mr. Brooks 100 times. He's
Yeah.
never mentioned it, but I will talk to Mr. Brooks and let him know that we're going to dedicate the pavilion on this
In
day
June,
and make sure that we'll get the Civitan group to show up as well.
right.
And I have a question, with trying to get people and recognize people. I don't know, I guess this is just one of those things that's always been a deal. Do we have to recognize people that are deceased? There are a lot of good people out here that,
No, what I wondered, I mean, y'all just, well.
yeah, I know that,
Right, we have, I mean, yeah, that was,
I know, I just kind of wish,
They have a specific policy on naming buildings after people, and I believe they do have.
they have.
no, I wouldn't mean naming, but with the June, yeah, the Juneteenth
Oh, yeah.
event, like, I just,
We're also gonna, that's what I said, I didn't have my list, I forgot to bring it. Miss Ruth Howell, one of the teachers, that's still from Clark, I think she's the only one that's still living up here. We was planning on honoring her during that time, but I'll try to get the whole list together and bring it on.
it'd just be nice. I mean, there's a lot of people
Right.
that you know, we want them to know that they're appreciated when they're still alive instead of just,
I was like, get my flowers around here.
yeah.
My hopes for the June event is that.
I don't know, I just think that,
We have the water slide, we have food trucks, live music at Gardenia Park. Some nice weekend in June, we can have just golf, we can have,
Yeah,
you know,
with
the water slide,
Yeah,
food.
with the, park reunion, they was planning a, Sunday service up down the park from the reunion. We're hoping we're gonna get enough, they're gonna get in enough money that we can, you know, solve it, put the pavilion up there.
Mhm.
That's the reason why, one reason why we decided to go at the club.
Just make it a big to do.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, is to bring the money in to build a pavilion.
I can take the food trucks maybe.
Yeah, I think the water slide and the food trucks, definitely, if we don't get live music, I can definitely bring the sound system or broadcast music out there. But we'll bring the disc out there, we'll bring the cornhole out there, we'll bring stuff to do, spike ball. Even got a volleyball net, that if I get someone to help me get it out there, we can set the volleyball net. You know, there's plenty of stuff that we can do while we're out there. I just want to make sure
Yeah,
that
we
we.
supposed to have volleyball up there.
do we have speakers that are gonna speak? I mean, I guess that's the thing, we don't want a bunch of people up there having a grand old time and not understand what it's
I think we
for.
have someone speaking on what it's about.
Maybe a couple different times, you know, I don't know.
That's
If,
what
if we're gonna educate people, we need to really educate people and not
Right.
I
just,
agree. That's what's relevant
I agree
to
with
the actual situation.
yeah. I mean, people are gonna be like, oh, food truck.
Yes.
You need to know why there's a food
Yeah.
truck there.
Yeah.
Like,
Do the food if that's something to do with.
yes, themed or,
The
you
theme
know,
of the food, yes.
yeah,
That's what I was speaking
That's
on.
that's what we was shooting towards.
yeah.
That's why I don't want to wait till May before we start having these discussions,
Right.
guys. This is why we're talking about it in December, so that when June gets here, we actually are all on the same page and we know what we're doing. Huh?
It
I know
happens
it's
fast.
only 6 months left. It seems like we usually do these kind of things like in June, for Juneteenth. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to do that.
I know that.
In the car.
And-
He would be Cornelius, he's, you know, principal.
Oh.
You know, he can do the hat thing. You know what I'm saying? He's the.
Joe,
Joe.
Cornelius.
Cornelius, yeah.
yeah.
He's at Whitthorne.
He's at Whitthorne now? He's at
Now we
Whitthorne.
get him to come and do something.
Uh-huh, yeah.
We're trying to get him to do that, paint that rock.
Mhm. So are the celebration gonna be June 9th?
What they, I mean,
It's
we never
supposed to
really
be June
decided on
19th is
date.
the official date.
June 19th is the official celebration date.
And that,
Or-
No, it won't
Federal
be on
holiday.
Sunday.
That's Sunday.
so maybe the Saturday
I was
before?
hoping the Saturday before, we could hopefully get the water slide, the food trucks, and make the June 18th day the big celebration.
No, I have June
Things
18th,
throughout the
I have
month,
June
Jack.
18th on a Saturday, on 2022.
Yeah, it's on Sunday and 20.
Oh, you said it's the
June
night.
18th is on Saturday. June
Yeah, so
19th
that's
is
what
on
we're,
Sunday.
so Saturday the
So
18th.
I want to do it the Saturday before, to make sure we get the better turnout.
It's Father's Day too, it is.
It is.
It's Father's Day.
Ah,
Tuesday, on the
That
same
might
day.
be a problem.
Mhm.
I didn't see that.
But maybe we just do it all on Saturday and then, because of Father's Day, and maybe even
No, I mean,
say that.
The Clark reunion was a 3-day weekend thing,
Mhm.
and by it being Father's Day, I'm gonna have to talk to them and see what they think.
I mean, they gonna change the date.
Mhm.
I know it's not gonna change the dates, but I still, I mean, if you're not gonna get any participation, because
I always say, do,
it don't bother me because my father's deceased.
Mhm.
I understand if we make a big day, like we talking about June 19th, we do it this
And they want a
Saturday.
big turnout.
I
Mhm.
know, I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
you want
for
to
it.
pay, you want to pay for the pavilion for us.
We didn't get, no, I'm not paying for
Write the
it.
check.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna do this celebration, we gotta pick a day
I think
for the
that,
park and rec
I
to do
think
that
that,
thing.
yeah.
That, and then they can do whatever 3 days they want to do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And hopefully they would come, even if it didn't work on their weekend.
I'm hoping that the 18th, you know, and of course, I know that's still a long time away. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't have a date on there for.
And even if you did it still on the memorial like you did, just tell them, say, hey, we're also doing this on the June 18th. Please come support us that weekend as well.
If we have plenty of time to advertise it, well, guys, if we let them know there's gonna be a water slide, food trucks, you know, stuff to do out there, I think we'll have a good turnout. I'm not worried about the turnout.
Right.
I'm worried about the place cover and park everybody. Yeah.
It's really not a problem. Seriously, we have too much to do. It's really not a problem.
Who wanna do that?
When Splashback's done? It's where the splashback.
Okay, I know I got that, okay.
Was that
The George Bull,
bench?
bench,
Mhm.
it's back in the police department, and we're just waiting on the splashback.
See, that's another one we should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we could maybe tie it into the opening,
That was another.
grand opening.
Yeah.
And sure it will be. We'll probably do the dedication for the bench to the grand opening. There'll be a lot of people that will thank them that day. This is, for lack of this speedy process, because I know it's been a slow process, there's been a lot of people who have gone above and beyond and done a lot of stuff. People that work for the city, people who don't work for the city, you know. So we'll recognize several people on the grand opening day. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just asking about the bitch, because I got asked about it. I mean, I don't care who.
It's
you
here.
are. Yeah. You can recognize me, that's okay.
We'll recognize. If you show up, I'll recognize, let everybody know you're there.
That I'm the supervisor.
Let everybody know you're there.
Can somebody tell me when the last year of Clark School was? I'm just curious. I can't find it. I mean, I'm
On
trying to,
that sign, I know it, but I'm not remembering it.
like, is there a lot of people still
You said
alive
73?
that were
Yes,
at
it is.
Clark School?
71.
It is. We have quite, usually when we have Clark reunion, we pull in anywhere from 100 to 200 people, depending on when we have it.
I was just curious because I knew it was before my time, and you know I'm getting old.
That was before your time, I went there.
Mm-hmm. It was before.
Well, the high school has
I'm
been,
fine, too.
the high school was 50 years last year. So I don't know if they overlapped a couple years or not. They overlapped a couple years. I think they overlapped a couple years before it was officially
1922 to 1969.
16.
I wanted 16.
That's what I thought.
Make sure it was.
Because the high
Before
school
my time.
was 50 years old last
Like you
year,
said,
1970. 70 to 2020 was 50 years.
I was there.
Years old.
I wasn't born yet.
Years old.
I wasn't born until 70. I just knew it was before my time, and I was just
1 year.
curious. 1 year before my time.
68, 69.
I just got here, I was trying to go there.
I was just curious how many people that attended there, you know.
Like Lawrenceburg and all them came here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they, Sandy Hook and down to the Lawrenceburg line, Lawrenceburg had. My mama lived in Lawrenceburg Station.
It was a little further down
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
but that's in the Summertown. Like it was a little further down off in there.
Because they went to Sandy Hook first, and then they moved up to Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Learn something. Always try to learn something. All right, anything else on our dates?
No, I think we knocked out Juneteenth suggestions as well.
Okay. All right, vacant position.
So y'all haven't heard April Mobbs is stepping down. She's no longer going to be on our board. I have a recommendation of Alicia Busby. I have spoke with her. She is willing to sit on the board with us. But I know that I have to take that before the commission. And before I take it before the commission, I'd like to make sure all you guys are okay with it as well. I know Alicia has stepped up and taken pictures for us in the past. She is good at taking pictures, so I think she'll be a part anyway when it comes to taking pictures. So let's just give her an opportunity to be even bigger a part, and she's willing to do so. So
And April was conflicted about resigning. She's just got a lot on her plate. I think she'll be very, I know she'll be very active. She may even volunteer for events that the Recreation Commission.
Talked to her
do.
today.
So,
talked to her today. She's working Santa Trolley right now at the community center. She and Alicia are both up there, and so I told her, April, I appreciate everything she's done. Hate to see her go, and thanked Alicia for offering up her time. So if it's okay with all you guys, I think maybe we can take a vote on that here.
that's what you guys have done in the past. It's not necessary, but you have done that. You
If we vote on it,
to make a recommendation to the city commission.
I think we should take a vote on it, and then I will take that vote to the commission. That way they'll, you know, as long as we're all together with it, I think they'll be all together with it.
Okay, so we need to make a motion.
I will make a motion.
Can I ask a question? When did she resign, this month?
She resigned last month, so that's why she's not at this month's meeting. She sent an email in.
Oh, okay, I was trying to, we didn't have a meeting last
No,
night.
no, no, she sent an email in. I informed the mayor.
So I guess my question is, I understand Alicia has been nominated, but do anybody else have somebody that we can look at as well? You just don't want to jump, I mean, I agree, I like Alicia. But I'm just saying, I think everybody else should have the opportunity, if they have somebody they want to recommend, we can have more than one person.
And that's a great idea, and you don't have to have somebody named this month. When anybody is going off a board, I always ask if they have anybody they want to suggest, just to make our work
Right.
easier, but if anybody else has
Right,
somebody
I was
available,
just gonna ask
that's fine
that.
too.
If y'all don't, I nominate Alicia.
Listen, nobody's breaking down my door to volunteer or
Well, I'm
to
just saying, you
be a
don't want to
part.
be like it ain't
Right.
nobody have a chance to say it. You don't want nobody leave here and say, well, I had somebody and they just
I agree,
just
Billy.
picked Alicia, you know what I
If
mean?
you want to take a month to talk.
No,
about
well,
it,
I'm fine with Alicia.
Okay.
I'm just making sure the rest of the board is okay.
Yeah, if, I will,
I got a
do
motion,
that.
I
If
need
y'all
a
don't have any other
I'll second.
recommendations, then I would proceed with the motion to elect Alicia as our new member.
All in favor? Opposed?
Unanimous.
Got it.
I will present that to the commission. We have a study session coming up next week, Thursday, and I will present it to them and then hopefully get that on the agenda for
It's already on there.
Motion to adjourn.
Me, I'll make one.
I'll second it.
Okay. So, they made a motion to adjourn and they seconded it. All those in favor?
Uh,